Hi.
Hi.
I was in the middle of making the coupon that I had you remind me of. So I'm making sure that it's here so that way I can share it with the people. Share it with the people. How are
Well, I'm
you?
glad you remembered. I had it literally stuck right here on my desk. I didn't forget.
I knew if I said it out loud or typed it out, I would not forget. Because I was like, it's not that I had forgotten, but I was like, I have to remember to do that. So that way I can get it up and people know they have it, and remind people that they can get a $10 coupon when they purchase Jolly Holiday. So it makes it, I mean, girl math, it makes it $10 cheaper. So instead of $24, it's $14 for 24 patterns. And then you get another $10. Like if you were thinking of buying anything from my store, I mean, it just makes sense. It just makes sense. So, but Jolly Holiday will go away the day after Christmas. So the collection to purchase will go away. Obviously, it will still be in your Marley Bird house if you have it.
Right.
But the collection will go away. So I'm getting that set up. Well, so I have already.
What are the products? God, I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. It is
morning, Marley Bird. What are the projects today?
So one is a crochet tunic.
Ooh.
And the other one is a knit. It's a like bodiless turtleneck with sleeves. I don't know how else to describe it.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like all over the internet. So we designed our own. Candace has been making it. She sent it out on Saturday, hoping it would get here yesterday, and it's not here yet. So having said that, I'm not going to release either one of the patterns today until I get the sample in. I could take pictures, and then I'm gonna put them out there.
I get you.
Like I have the crochet one here. It's done. I have it here, but I didn't want to release one and not the others. I want them doing both at the same day. So that's what I'm going to do. So right now, if you're in Jolly Holiday, you'll notice that the last pattern is listed to not, be open till the 31st. I was like, I'm just going to give myself as much wiggle room, as much room as possible. Who knows? We talked about this yesterday, the postal service. I have no idea what's going to happen. It's funny because John this morning, I saw a present upstairs and I was like, what is this? He's like, oh, that's for my Secret Santa at work. It should have been here last week. And I was like, oh, he's like, yeah, it's running real late. I said, yeah, apparently that's what's going on right now. So, but yeah, so that's what's going on. So one is a crochet tunic. It's beautiful. I like it. It has a very deep V, like a very deep V. So it is meant to be worn with a shirt underneath, like that either is deep or a button-up shirt that you button. Like it's meant to be a deep V. And I say that like with enthusiasm because I like that. I like the deep V. Robin does not. Robin thinks it's too deep. So we were talking about it because I have pictures of it on my sister, and she told me, she's like, I don't want you to use those pictures. I don't like it. I don't like how deep it is. I don't like the way it looks. And I'm like, I like the way it looks. Like I made it that way on purpose. Like I like that. And so, anyways, I'm going to take some pictures of it on a mannequin too. So that way you can get a lot of different views. And then if I can get Taylor to come over here, I'll have Taylor try it on too. Because it should fit her. It might be a little big on her, but at least you guys can get an idea. You guys all know Taylor, Josiah's girlfriend.
Yeah.
But
she was one of your athletes too, right?
Her brother is one of my athletes.
Her brother, that's what it is.
She was actually my my manager last year at track. It was fantastic. It was the first year ever I had a manager that was just for me. I actually had two. I had a former athlete who couldn't throw anymore, but he wanted to come and be a manager. And he was great. He was like a second coach. He's awesome. He graduated early. He was a junior last year. He graduated early and he's backpacking around Europe this year. Like,
wow.
It's so fun to watch him. His name's Daniel. He's just fantastic. He's like one of my favorite kids ever. Like he's so short. I think he's barely over 5 foot. Just the most energetic, confident, kind, generous, just a wonderful human being, just somebody you want to be around.
Yeah.
But so Daniel and Taylor were both my managers last year, which was fantastic. And Josiah had met Taylor in the AP African American Studies class.
Yeah.
So I guess he had known Taylor before that, but they really got to know each other in that class. and then a manager because her brother is a thrower. And then Josiah and Taylor went to prom together, and then they started dating. So now they've been together 8 months. Yeah. And
is she also at Purdue?
No, she's at Ball State.
Okay.
So it's about an hour and a half away from Purdue.
Gotcha. Okay.
Purdue Fort Wayne.
I didn't know if they were.
Yeah. No. She's at Ball State. She's what is she studying? I want to say kinesiology, but I could be completely wrong. I'm so bad about.
That's okay.
To me, I'm like, I probably should remember. I don't remember.
You don't remember because I'm pretty sure you know that whatever she decides to study, she's going to do well at. So you're like, it's really not.
Yeah. I
get it.
Yeah. I mean, I know that like Emily, she's is it psychiatry? Psychology? It's not psychology. I think it's psychiatry. She's real smart. Emily's real smart. Like I told Caden, I said, you might be the stay-at-home dad in that relationship, which is not a bad gig. Actually, it won't happen. But she's such a smart lady and has such a great head on her shoulders, and she's beautiful and she's kind and she doesn't take Caden's shit. Like that's the best part. I don't know. I mean, you guys know I love Emily. Like I have been such a fan of Emily since the first day she came and I got a chance to meet her. Like I love Emily a lot. She's really great. Yeah. So I mean, my kids, they have good people.
Yeah.
Which is funny. So Laura was like, everybody has a girlfriend. Maybe I should get a girlfriend. I said, go for it. Let's go. She was like, how funny would that be? Like, everybody just has a girlfriend.
Oh, well, no. Like when I went to my sister's wedding, right? I stayed, sorry, my camera had to be replugged in today. So I have to reframe it. But
you're fine.
When I went to my sister's wedding, I stayed with my cousin Wade and his husband Kelvin. Their wedding was in June. And we were just visiting because like I never get to just visit with Wade. And he was like, you do realize, like we were talking about another one of my cousins and his wife and their kids. And he goes, you do realize that Brooke's the only female non-biological cousin. I was like, what?
Female non-biological.
So like she's the only one who married in because everybody else has husbands.
Okay.
So we only have one female cousin one married in cousin that's a girl.
That's awesome.
Everybody else has husbands.
Right? Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I was like, because I stopped and thought about it, I was like, because I don't care. Like, it just never occurred to me. And then I was like, you're right. Brooke's like the only female who married in. Like, she's the only girl who was like, yeah, this lot of people seems normal.
That's great. That's great. So I hope everybody got the email last night. I sent it out really late last night. I'm sorry. As the day went on, I just kept getting just more and more like medicine head and just didn't feel so good. But this was the cowl. I finished it.
It's gorgeous.
So the pattern is still up. So I left up the cup cozy and this for the knitters because I wanted to make sure that, because I know not everybody gets my emails. They don't watch this. They aren't all part of the Minions group. And if they aren't always getting notified. I was like, I just want to make sure everybody gets the up-to-date pattern for that, because I mean, heaven forbid they didn't know. And then they go to make it and they're just like, what the heck? So I want to make sure they got it.
I get you.
So I have both of those left up. It's the same. If you guys haven't put it together, it's been the same link the entire time. We keep updating the same page. We keep changing out the information on the same page. So if you have not gotten those, please go and grab those from the free pattern page. But yeah, Hankmas looked like it was a hit last night.
It was. That bag is, she real pretty.
Yes. I mean, when you showed me afterwards, after we went live, guys, I got the sneak peek. I mean, it was so great.
I can go grab one if you want me to. I just didn't, because like I've had it's a whole story. Hold on.
Okay. All righty. How's everybody else doing in here? Everybody doing well? Everybody doing well? Oh my gosh.
All right. So this was last night's bag. It's the hither thither because it's, which one is it? I couldn't tell you which the front of this bag is.
Uh-huh.
Which is why it has two tags. Like it has one on both sides because what's the front?
I love it.
And then it has 2 zippers so that it'll open either way. Depending on, like, if you want it to be mostly pink, then you'd want your zipper to open this way. If you want it to be mostly blue, then you'd want your zipper to open that way, because that's the thing.
Right.
So that was the tote from last night. It's slightly smaller than the Worth Doing, which I know you love.
I do.
So this is like a sister to the Worth Doing, like a cousin.
Got it.
Worth Doing. But it's super fun to put together, and it's super, like, because you get both sides, and this is like a big pocket. Like, that's a big old pocket. So
it's a big old pocket.
You know, I love a big pocket.
I love a big pocket.
With a big pocket. I just like them on the outside because physics, they should not be on the inside.
Well, so, I mean, I like them on the inside too, but I understand what you're coming from. I understand.
Maybe it's because I put too many things in my pockets. Maybe that's it. So I'm sorry that I was late this morning.
That's all right. I've already been to the grocery store today. How about them apples?
Oh, I had to go to the grocery store today. I already did that.
Did you? Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that go for you? Like, it was
because I didn't actually have to go into the grocery store. I had to get water.
Oh.
Because last night, I went to refill my water bottle before the live, and the red light is flashing like there's no water left.
Oh.
And I was like, oh no, right? And by that point, the Publix across the street is closed. So I can't go fill it. And also I have to be live. And then also, so it's Christmas Eve. So the Publix over here closes at noon. So I had to go get water before I came in, because otherwise I wouldn't have had water. So I had to go. And that's at a grocery store. But I went to the Publix over by my house because okay. So last night I went home after the live. I got home at like 10. I picked up Slim Chicken's chicken tenders on my way home. And then
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's real good chicken tenders. Like,
okay.
It's real good chicken tenders. And went home, literally ate the chicken tenders, and then just got in bed. Like, I did not pass go, did not collect $200, just got in bed. I think I was asleep in 5 seconds. Like, I was so tired. So this morning, I must have been sleeping through my alarm significantly, because instead of my alarm waking me up, my dog was.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that's such a good girl. What a good, sweet girl, right? Like, she's like, mom, turn the noise off, mom. I want to go back to sleep, mom. Right? And I'm like, oh, what a good girl. Let's cuddle, right? So we're cuddling. I'm like, okay, mama has to get up. So I get in the shower. And I should have known that something was different when I got out of the shower and she was laying beside the shower. She never does that. She snuggles Dave in the morning because she doesn't get a lot of time with Dave at this time of year. And I was like, is it raining? And Dave's like, no. I was like, is there thunder? He's like, no. And he's like, I'm like, what is happening? And I was like, he goes, I think there's like a big truck. And I was like, oh, okay. Cause like sometimes that sounds like thunder. She gets freaked out. Cool. All right. So I'm getting ready. Dave's getting dressed and he's like, I'm going to take her outside. Now she does not sleep in her collar because she'll get tangled in the blanket. So she does not sleep in her collar. So we take it off. It sits on the nightstand. And then in the morning, when we are ready to start our day, we put on our necklace and then she gets real excited.
Okay.
It's like that click of the necklace means like we're starting the day.
Got it.
Okay. So in the morning, the one time we let her like free range in the backyard is in the morning. Instead of going potty on a leash, we throw her favorite spherical object out the door and she takes off. And then that little bit of sprinting moves everything around and then she potties.
Okay.
And then she picks up her spherical object and she runs back to the door and gets very excited about breakfast.
Got it.
This is the only time in her life where she is off leash ever.
Okay.
We pay a company to come scoop the poop out of our yard so that we don't have a problem. And they came yesterday in the evening. I need that to be clear.
Okay. So can they see?
Yes. Like, well, I guess in the evening. I say in the evening. They came like yesterday afternoon.
Okay.
Okay. They're always in the afternoons, which we appreciate because she is not home. So look, I'm putting on my shoes, sitting on the couch, putting on my shoes when I hear Hadley, no, 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 no.
Did they leave the door or the gate unlocked?
Nope. I don't have a fence. We don't have a fence.
Oh, okay.
She's just too anxious to leave.
Okay.
And then our back door doesn't always latch. Like it's a screen door and it doesn't always latch. And she's figured out how to nose it open if it isn't latched. And so she comes in and Dave's like, get her. So I reach down and I grab her collar. And it's squishy.
Oh, why? What happened?
I'm going to let you guess.
I honest to God, I don't know. I don't know if I want to know.
So I'm like, honey, what is in my hand? And he goes, she found poop and she rolled in it.
Oh my gosh. Why?
So I'm like,
oh,
okay. And I'm like, get her outside, right? So we get her back outside and I take off the necklace that is covered in poop.
Oh God.
And like, I have like, when we used to take her to the dog park, I have like dog wipes to get the pollen and stuff off of her before we get in the car. Like, so I have those. So I went and got those and like got the biggest parts of it off of her outside. And then it's like, nope, this is for sure going to have to be a full scrubby fingernail bath.
Oh.
So then, because I don't have a collar to keep her steady, because that's Dave's dealing with that, right? Like getting that. So I'm like, cool, we're gonna you do with that. I'm gonna go get her in the bathtub. So like I get her and you've been in our guest bath. It's tiny.
Yeah.
She managed to get out of my bathroom and jumped on my bed. Thank God we have lots of extra blankets on the bed, so that is already in the washing machine. So then I get her back in the bathroom and I am just like screaming at her to sit down and stay. And so I have to go change all of my clothes so that I can give her a bath because that is like a full contact sport. And there's poop. So like I'm not risking it.
Oh my gosh.
So, and she's like, what's wrong, Mom? Why are you mad, Mom? And I'm just like spraying her down and I'm scrubbing as hard as I can because I'm like, I cannot have her smell like poop. This is not a thing. We cannot do this. Like, I cannot have the smell in my car. Like, I cannot do this. And she's just like, what did I do? I'm like, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And so I'm just like, I'm so sorry, kiddo. Like, and like, of course, like it's up here. So like, I have to like scrub up into here. And I'm just like, this is, oh my God, like really. And I'm like, of course, today's the day we're going to go live early. Of course it is. Like, of course today's the day. Right. And so Dave's like, so I'm like scrubbing super hard. Right. And I'm like, well, I got to rinse her super, super good because like, I need to smell her to make sure that I got it all. Right. So like, I'm rinsing her and then I scrub her some more and I rinse her and I scrub her some more and I rinse her and I scrub her some more and I rinse her some more. So we do that. And then I get her as dry as I can. And I am now soaked head to toe, like full, like I took a whole shower because it's a full contact sport. She does not like a bath. And I get her as dry as I can. That towel is completely soaked now. Somehow I have a short-haired dog and it feels like I could wring that towel out. I don't understand how that's a thing, but okay, fine. And so I throw a towel at David and I'm like, get her dry. I have to change. And he looks at me and he's like, sweet Jesus. I'm like, I will be back. And so he's like, getting her excited. So she'll like run around and air dry and then rubbing her down and air drying and rubbing her down. And so I come back out completely different outfit because that outfit, the original outfit is now for sure in the wash. So like completely different outfit. And he's like, let's go get smoothies. I'm like, yeah, let's get smoothies.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we don't have an extra collar, right? Like I don't have an extra collar. So I'm like, how the hell am I going to get her to work? So then the only thing I can find is her easy lead, like it's her harness that we go on WALKs with.
Mm-hmm.
So she thinks she's gonna go on a WALK. She is like jumping up and down happy. And I'm like, no, we're getting in the car, kid. Like, no. So then we get in the car and she's like, wait, are we gonna go to the place? Thinking we're gonna go to Michelle's.
Okay.
And go, are you in? Nope. So we go and she's like, this is Smoothie King. And I'm like, yeah. And if they could put Bailey's in it, that would be a thing too. And so I'm like, okay. So I'm like, after this, you know, because like I didn't have all my things together when this went down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, I'm wondering, I'm like, oh, my watch is in the bathroom and my I need a hoodie. Where's my hoodie? Right. So I'm just like standing, trying to find my brain because like I have a routine and now that routine is broken and my brain is like, you skipped part, you didn't do the thing in the order of the thing, and now you can't do the thing because your brain can't remember the thing.
I understand that.
And so I'm just like walking in and out of my bedroom a million times. And Dave's like, what do you need? I was like, I don't know. So then I'm like, oh my God, I'm out of water at the office. I've got to stop at the Publix. And Dave's like, well, I need like 4 things in Publix. Like we have like 2 rolls of toilet paper. And I'm like, that ain't gonna cut it. Like that is, what if you start to feel sick? Like, no, that's DEFCON 1. So I'm like, okay, I'm like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to leave the dog in the car. I'm going to get water inside the door. And then I'm going to come back out and immediately get back in the car. You're going to go get the 4 things you need. And you are going to hustle your ass right back out here. And we are going to get in the car. Then I'm going to drive you home. And then I'm going to get in the car and I'm going to drive to Marley's. And he's like, you're going to be late. I'm like, I already texted her. She said it was okay. And he's like, it's going to be like 10. I'm like, it's going to be 9:30. It will be 9:30. And he's like, it's going to be 9:30. So then like he comes jogging out with the cart full of goodies. Cause like we needed like toilet paper, evaporated milk so I could make something, and like avocados for our Christmas breakfast. Right. So like he jogs out. I've got the water in the car. We've got the thing. He gets the things in the car. He's like, go, go, go. Right. And then like we get to the house and I'm like, okay. So like I dump everything in the house. I'm like, I love you. I'll talk to you later. And just ran out the door. And Nate was here. I got here at 9:30.
So, last night.
But so she's a naked dog because her collar is obviously not on her. She's a naked dog today at the office, and she's a little damp. But she is also very clean.
That's awesome. Well,
so Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
You know, I know that this all happened with your dog, but I mean, this happened to me. I don't know if I've ever told you the story or told the audience the story or not. When Caden was in kindergarten, it was like a Jack and Jill bathroom, but it was between 2 classrooms. Okay. Yeah. For the kindergartners, because they're potty trained, but you just, it's like, let's have them their own bathroom, and they would go into the bathroom and the lock would happen, whatever. So I'm home and I get a call from the school. It was like, hey, Miss Bird, this is so-and-so. We have a situation with Caden and we need you to come and get him. I was like, okay, is he all right? Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. But you're gonna have just come here and get him. You might want to bring a towel or change. No, you should bring a towel, maybe even a blanket. And I was like, okay, all right.
What?
So I get to the school. Caden had went to the bathroom, had the poops, tried to wipe, got all over his hands. So he wiped his hands on the walls. What's that guy, that painter, the Pollock?
Yeah, Jackson Pollock.
Yeah, yes. Everywhere. On him, on the toilet, on the walls, on this, everywhere. Did I lose you? Okay.
No, I'm here.
It was so bad. He looked at me. He's like, Mommy, I'm sorry. And I was like, oh my God. The teacher was like, yeah. Like you just saw the teacher was like, oh my gosh. Then there's the part of me that was like, how long was he in here? Like this had to have been, and knowing Caden and his tummy issues, he has my tummy issues. So, now in hindsight, whatever, yeah, of course he probably ate something he wasn't, and he had the poo-poos. It was all over. I ended up stripping him down there in the bathroom, and the bathroom actually, it had a door that you could go to the outside, or the bathroom was right next to the door that was a private door to the classrooms. I don't remember. But I stripped him down. I had an old blanket that I wrapped him up in like a burrito and carried him out to the car and made him and luckily we just lived up the road, just a couple blocks, drove up and put him right in the shower and got him all, but it was horrendous. Like, I was like, I just don't know where your brain was. I just don't know where your brain was. But yeah, so yours was a dog rolling in poop. Mine was my kid painting with it. It's delightful.
It was
delightful.
And like, look, normally I don't have any reaction to like this kind of smell, like dog poop, dog vomit doesn't bother me. I was like the whole time. And Dave, we got in the car and he's like, you've never had that reaction. I was like, I think I was surprised. I think I didn't like have like, I didn't have time to like prepare, I think. And it was like, I was like, get that away, get away. Like literally, I was dry heaving. And he's like,
that's me lately. So I was that way. Let me preface this. I am not pregnant. But when I was pregnant, anytime John would be around me and like using the bathroom or farting or anything like that, like I just, and it's happening again lately. Like anytime he's passing gas or I walk past the bathroom that he's in, I'm like, it's so bad. It's like I guess there's a reel where somebody's wife has that same reaction, even if they hear somebody sounding like they're retching and she starts doing it because it's just like a reaction.
Yeah,
that's literally what it feels like with me. Like I can't hold it. I'm like, it's so bad.
Yeah, and like I'm also definitely not pregnant. But like I was like, Dave was like, you've never had that reaction. I was like, yeah, I know. And he was like, I was like, he's like, what happened? I was like, couldn't tell you. Don't know. So and somehow she got poop on my shoe. I don't know how that happened. So I had to scrub my shoes down too. It's been a morning.
I understand.
So I called my sister on the way and I was like, I have glad tidings for you and a story. And I told her and she was like, I love you. I was like, thanks.
I love your sister.
Like, you survived. I was like, I did.
When she texted us was it this morning or last night? She was texting us. I always get a kick when Tracy texts me because I'm like, yeah, I love you, Trace. I was like, she's just so great. So I want to say thank you to everybody who reached out to me privately about yesterday, who literally saw, like, I watched it after the fact. You literally saw me have a breakdown. Like like on air, like that was me breaking down.
Yeah.
So a lot of you reached out and said, you feel for me. So sorry. A lot of you commiserated with me. There are so many of you out there who have gone through the same thing I have. And a lot of you who are wheelchair bound, and it happens to you all the time. And I'm just saying there has to be something we can do. There has to be somebody we can talk to that can bring attention to this and be like, this just isn't right. Like, I don't know. If I had walked through a metal detector, just a plain metal detector, it wouldn't have been a problem. Right? Because no metal. But I just know. Anyways, I wanted to say thank you so much because you guys are so kind and so you were just very kind. You made me feel very good. Thank you so very much because I needed that. Yeah, so that was good. What are the clues for tonight's? By the way, I'm eating Jarlsberg like spread, like at the grocery store. I bought it. It was supposed to be for tonight. Can you see how much is left? Like,
yeah, I can see that.
That is left. It's not gonna make it till tonight. I'm eating all of it.
Good for you. I'm proud of you.
Owen, hello. Owen says hello to everyone. Hi, Owen.
Hello, Owen.
Hi, Owen.
The clue for tonight, and you've seen like little pieces of it in the video, probably of me like holding it against my chest to fold it up. This is certainly tiny, but it is not necessarily going on a trip. Is the clue for tonight.
One more time.
It is certainly tiny, but it is not necessarily going on a trip, because we have tiny trips is a product that we have. And so it was really nice because like I've sewn lots of very big things all back to back to back to back to back to back. And this is a smaller thing. Which is very nice.
A nice little amuse-bouche.
It's a nice little like, oh, that was fast. And then I got to this step, and here's where the thing that you need to know comes into play is that making one of something is easy. Making lots of something is not. So we're learning that lesson today. And last night I was getting the fabric ready. So the last thing I was going to do before I left last night was order the fabric for the first 2 cycles of Destination Lane. And then just like kind of fill in holes from what, like, here are the most popular things that people would probably want again, or if there's an issue, I need to have a little extra on hand, like a couple yards, like I'm not ordering anything massive. And so I was getting that order together, and I was looking at the list, and I'm like, I'm forgetting something, and I'm so tired. I don't know that I trust my math. I need to make sure that like I have somebody check my math, because like I want to make sure that I don't get it wrong, because I did that on this last cycle, and now I'm paranoid. And so I'm like, I'll ask Michelle to double check my math when she gets in today. She's coming in for just a couple of minutes, and I'll just ask her to check my math because I know she won't mind. And this morning I realized, because I was like, I just don't trust myself. I'm too tired. I just don't trust myself. I'm too tired. This morning I realized, would you like to know what I had forgotten to add to my order?
What?
Was it the Winston Brothers fabric?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
That would have been a massive mistake.
A huge mistake.
So massive. So I'm really glad that I remembered that this morning in the shower before the poop happened, before the poop hit the fan, quite literally.
Yes.
Oh
my gosh. I'm so glad you didn't forget.
That
would have been so bad.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Like even thinking about forgetting it makes my stomach turn, like truly. So, I'm excited about getting that order together, because that's going to be a lot of math. A lot of math.
So yesterday while I was knitting, I finished Zodiac Academy.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you finished it.
I finished it yesterday. I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it. The person that you hate totally got his comeuppance.
Good.
It was amazing.
Did he die bloody? Because I need him to die bloody.
Yeah.
Good.
It was awesome.
It's not like a Jack Barlow situation though, right?
No, it cannot be a Jack Barlow situation.
Good.
F Jack Barlow.
Jack Barlow.
Yeah. So,
right in his stupid face. Okay.
My favorite part of something that she has done, both with Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac and the Zodiac Academy, is at the end, like there was like an hour left or something like that. And it's like she does like, 2 years later, 5 years after that, 7 years after that, whatever, so nice. You get an idea of and it's so awesome to kind of hear about them, who's having kids, how the kids are. I love that the different types of love that there are in the whole thing, and nobody, I guess I could say, nobody bats an eye,
Yeah.
Like, there's no judgment at all about anybody, about anything. And I just I love that part about it. But I enjoyed it so much. And in book 8, you realize why so much of the bad stuff had happened in the first 7 books. And so by book 8, you're like, oh, okay. And so book 8 and 9, 8.5 and 9, definitely recommend. I like those a lot. So I finished it. So after that, I had a couple more hours I had to work. So I started Quicksilver, because everybody's been talking about it.
Everybody's been talking about it.
Everybody's been talking. And I was
like the rights to that book got sold for either a show or a movie for like 10 or 12 million dollars or something.
Yeah. So I remember everybody was talking about Fourth Wing. I'm really hoping this cough does not turn into a pneumonia. It's not COVID. I took a COVID test. It's not COVID. So everybody was talking about Fourth Wing for the longest time. And I was like, oh, I just don't want to read it and be disappointed. I don't want to read it and be disappointed. And I read it and I loved it. Remember that I was told you, I was like, you gotta read this. Like it's really that good. So this one, with everybody talking about it, I heard about the purchase of the rights. And I was like, okay, you know what? It's a one-off at this point in time.
Yeah.
I could read this right now. Like I could get into this right now. Because for Christmas Day, we're not going to go see a movie. We're all just going to hang out here. And my hope is I can just knit on whatever the hell I want to knit on. And it doesn't have to be for a pattern for anybody. And like, that's where I'm at. I'm like, I'm ready to just make something for me. And it doesn't have to be like, I don't have to film myself doing it. I have to take photographs of myself doing it because it just becomes overwhelming. And so, I lost my train of thought.
Quicksilver.
Thank you.
Not going to a movie.
So I figured if I started this one, because it's like 20 hours, and maybe a little more. And so far, like it's kept my interest from the first chapter. So I'm on chapter 3. And usually the first 3 to 5 chapters, it's a real struggle for me to get into something.
Yeah.
It's like the story building part when you're in a whole
you have to like learn the setting and the characters and like all the things.
Yeah. So it's hard. Like for me, Crescent City was so hard to get into.
It was very hard. Yes.
It was so hard to get into. And I was like, you're going to like it. 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 Cause I like everything she does. Right. Yeah. I'm like, just give it time. Just give it time. And then finally, I feel like I was a third of the way through the book when I was like, okay, here we go. I see what's happening now. Let's hit it going. And then the last third of the book, it's like all the action. And you're like, oh my gosh. But anyways, with this one, from the get-go, I wouldn't say I'm hooked, but I'd say I'm interested enough in what's happening that I'm like, okay, let's keep listening. Like,
I'm going to give you a gift, Marley Bird. Okay? It is a true gift. I just finished the book. Hang on, let me make sure I get it right. Let me look it up real quick. Hold on.
Oh, Laura started Quicksilver yesterday too. Are you liking it, Laura?
On my TBR.
What'd you say?
Okay, so this is the first in a series. It's in the Smarty Pants romance thing. I was super looking forward to it when she announced it earlier this year. I read it. I laughed out loud so many times.
What book?
It is called None Too Soon, The Bad Habit Book Club by Lissa, Lissa Sharpe, Sharpe. And it is none in UN, like a person who devotes their life to the Lord.
Okay.
It is narrated by Joy Nash.
I love her.
And Ryan Lee Dunlap. Love them. But when I tell you that there were times where I had to pause the book because I was laughing so hard, I was missing parts of it.
Okay. All right. Well, I just bought it.
So the concept is she's a nun who did not renew her vows.
Okay.
And now she's a librarian. And she is working through all the rhetoric that she had been fed as a child about sexuality and sex and all of those things. And she loves romance books and is writing a romance novel. But the catch is she's a 31-year-old virgin. Okay. And then in walks the, and I quote, red unicorn, a red-headed, bearded dude who starts coming to the Chicago Public Library and checking out Agatha Christie books. And everyone at the library refers to him as the red unicorn because he's handsome and he reads.
Okay.
Turns out he wasn't there for the books. He's a bounty hunter looking for her brother who's a criminal.
Oh.
Marley, it is so good. It is so good.
All right.
Like, I was like, well, this will be a fun. No, like legitimately, I was 3 chapters in and was like, this is maybe my favorite rom-com of the year. Like,
all right.
So, and honestly, like the epilogue, it's obviously going to be a series, like, because it says book 1. The epilogue introduces the next love interest. Is he an Irish ex-priest? I'm in. Okay. Like, is her best friend named Matilda, who's maybe some sort of like from some sort of Slavic country? So she has kind of like a Slavic accent. Her name's Matilda, and she's like the most cynical person you've ever spoken to.
Mm-hmm.
Does she offer to hide a body? It's so good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love Joy Nash too. You guys, did you know that she is an actress and she's, I think, a plus size model? Like, she's gorgeous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Joy Nash. Right? Am I thinking of somebody else?
I don't know. American actress, when I Google it. Oh, she is absurdly gorgeous. That's not fair.
She is, and she's a crocheter or a knitter, one of the two. So to me, she's my people. She's my people.
She's stunning.
Yes. Lauren, yes, that's exactly that's
like Callie Hart. I cannot tell you like how much I enjoyed like I keep thinking, like, I've started another book and I keep thinking about that one. Strap in, Gio, strap in.
I was just like, hang on for the ride. Like, to be there reading those for the first time again. Please don't go and get any spoilers. Just absorb it all and take it all.
Enjoy the first read. Protect the first reading.
The second book is amazing. I like the first book. Second book is my favorite. I like the third book. I really like the fifth book. It's good. Hang on tight.
Hang on tight. It's a ride. But so that was,
you're gonna like it. I liked it a lot.
So anyway, that one was really, really good. I really enjoyed that. And now I really want, I don't know. I have no idea when the second one's going to come out, but I'm going to read it immediately.
I didn't read these. Did you read these? Somebody must have recommended them.
The Kingsman by Amy Award.
Rita, I believe you. Maybe we were talking about them, like we wanted to get them or something.
I'm not seeing them on Audible.
Alicia.
Oh, strap in, Alicia. It's
so good.
Strap in, Alicia. You just
it is so good. Are you gonna tandem read with Tower of Dawn? Here's the deal. There's a split opinion on this, right? Is Empire of Storms tandem read with Tower of Dawn, because they're both set in the same time but different places. I don't like the idea of a tandem read. I think you should be Empire of Storms and then go and read Tower of Dawn, and then
a tandem read is just too much work for me. I'm sorry. I'm not. Right. I'm going to get too into it and forget to switch over.
There are too many characters, because there's more characters in Tower of Dawn. Like, it's just too much. At least that's how I feel. But I mean, it is so good. And then be ready for Kingdom of Ash, because it will rip your heart out. It's just rip
in the best way.
It's so good. It's so good. You're gonna love Manon. You're gonna love the 13. You're gonna love Dorian. You're just gonna love them. You're just gonna love them.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Like, I'm all for another ACOTAR book. I'm all for another Crescent City book. But what I really need a Manon book. I need that.
Oh, I wonder if she's talking about the plus size girls who fall in love with the football players. The Kingsman, the series. I bet that's it. Rita, those are like easy, like palate cleanser, cheesy reads. But I laughed out loud. One of them is totally a ripoff of like Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Oh, well, there you go.
The whole love story. Because that is a real life book romance happening in front of us. That whole thing.
Yeah.
You can't convince me that it is a fake or anything. Nope. That is 100% real. That is amazing. I love it. I'm so here for it.
I'm not a Swiftie. I enjoy her music, but I don't like follow it. Like, I'm just not, I don't have time. But can I just tell you that, like, because, you know, the Eras tour and everything, there's a lot of content about it. And I can't tell you that, like, I love the fact that Travis Kelce was interviewed and someone asked him, how do you feel about the fact that people are saying that Taylor Swift put you on the map, made you a household name? And he goes, oh, for sure she did. Yeah, absolutely. Like, the fact that he was not threatened by that at all. I was like, that's the guy.
You know what's crazy to me is I was watching the podcast with him and his brother, New Heights. I was watching it when he was talking about going to a Swiftie concert and trying to get her a bracelet with his number on it. And Jason was like, which number? And he's like, you knew what number, because he wanted to try and date her. He was shooting his shot, you know, and she didn't meet up with him. Like, supposedly he was saying that she needed to rest her throat after the shows, and maybe that's true. Maybe she just didn't want to meet with it. Who knows? But that was the start. Like, that was, at least publicly, that was the, yeah, I want to date this girl. Like, you know, and to me, I'm like, I remember watching that before anything. And I was like, oh, that would be so, that is such a good couple. I was like, somebody needs to make that happen. Like, he's a big, strong football player, confident in himself, loves what she does and is supportive of what she does, and absolutely, like, gives her the praise and stuff that she deserves for being as prolific and fundamental. Like, she's just really good. She's a wonderful businesswoman, you know. And I get it. She hires people, but she hires people. That's the thing. You hire people that help you be better. Anyways, I was just like, yes. So then when it all went down, I was like a kid watching a soap opera. I was like, this absolutely has to happen. This is the best thing ever. And it was so awesome to watch her. And I get it. We're just seeing whatever we're you know, fed from the media and stuff. Right. But it was fun to watch her be treated in a way that I'd never seen her be treated before by other boyfriends. And what I mean by that is, it was like, I don't want to say protected, but he was the man. He was, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know.
I think it really boils down to the fact that he's not intimidated by the fact that he's more successful than him.
I love it so much.
Because, like, look, let's just be really honest. That is a thing that is very prevalent in the world. Men are very often intimidated by women who are very successful or very strong. And that is a thing that I know John isn't intimidated by your success. Dave isn't intimidated by my success. But, like, I still have family members who ask me when my husband's going to go get a, quote, real job. And I'm like, if I were staying at home and he went out of the house and worked, would you ask me when I'm getting a real job? They're like, no. And I'm like, then why are you asking me when he's going to get a real job? And they're like, well, is it because he's a man? Like, I can't do this if he isn't at home. Him being at home allows me to do this, in the same way that if you have a stay-at-home wife and mother, that allows you to go work outside the home.
Yes. Yep.
He doing what he does allows for me to do this.
I think that mindset shift is happening.
Oh, I agree.
It's just it's funny because I've caught myself years ago. I caught myself in that, like, well, what if? And then I had to be like, wait a minute. Yeah. I'm working just as hard. You know, what's the big deal? Because I have breasts and a vagina, I don't have a ball, like balls and dick. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Like, no,
like, that's not how this works. Because, like, I would always, like, so Ginny's a stay-at-home mom. She stays home with her kids. And, like, I've always been like, if Andy is, look, want to be clear, very supportive, super good dude. Like, he knows that what she does allows him to do his job. Like, they are a good couple. Like, please do not misunderstand. But, like, Jenny and I've had conversations where I'm like, if you had to replace Jenny, just Jenny, that is a $250,000 a year venture. You have to have a chef, a housekeeper. You have to have a car service. You have to have childcare. You have like, so her staying
around
home,
the clock childcare, not just
childcare.
Around the clock.
And
all the things,
like that's like $175,000 to $200,000 a year that you'd have to shell out. Like, and I can say that to her and to Andy, and Andy's like, absolutely. Like, I'm so lucky that she wants to be home and wants to be with the boys. Like, you know, he's like, that's the thing that we decided. And like, it's worked for us. Is it for everybody? No. Does it work for them? Yes. That's great. Now, is she super excited that next year her youngest is going to go to kindergarten? Absolutely. She's real excited to have an empty house 8 hours a day. I don't blame her.
I understand.
I don't blame
her. I understand
that. But like, it works for them. But like, if I say that about Jenny, then I have to also say that about David.
Right.
Because like, I can't tell you what type of hamburger bun we eat. They're delicious. But I don't know which one it is at the store.
So I knew I had medicine at the store to pick up.
Uh-huh.
I don't usually pick up my medicine. Usually John does. I seriously sound like such a kept woman, but he usually picks up the medicine. So I knew that the last time he went to pick it up, that they weren't open or somebody was taking too long. I don't remember. So when I was there today, I saw they were open. I was like, oh, I'm going to go pick up my medicine. So I get home. John goes, did you pick mine up? I go, I didn't know you had some. He goes, yes, always. You always check for you, for me, and for Laura. And I go, well, I didn't know. He goes, how did you not know? And I'm like, because I didn't know. I didn't know. He's like, how do you not know? And I'm like, because I don't do it. Like, I don't normally do it. I don't know.
I don't do it, so I don't know.
Yeah. He's like, you just didn't listen. I was like, probably not. If it is not something I absolutely have to know in my head, it is leaving my head. It is not going to stay there.
And like, look, I mean, it's not that I can't go to the pharmacy. Of course I do. Like, you know, I pick up my prescriptions because I drive by the pharmacy on my way to work. Like, I'm glad to do it. It doesn't bother me. But like, I'm also the person who's like, hey, my prescriptions are ready. Dave's like, I'll go grab them. Like,
well, John does the grocery
but like,
shopping.
I couldn't tell you if we're out of mayonnaise. I don't know.
I know. I was at the store getting the gift cards that I told you I was going to get, right? Yeah. So I was at the store getting gift cards, getting a few things that I knew I wanted to have because I don't like shopping on the app. John likes to shop everything on the Kroger app. I like to go look down the aisles and see what I have to have. Like, I'm that person. Valid. And so he likes to do all the shopping on the app. So I'm at the store and I called him. I'm like, hey, do we need anything? He goes, well, he starts rattling off and I'm like, okay, I'll go get all those things. I would have never known. I would have never known.
I would never have known.
Because it's just not.
Like, today I said to Dave, I said, so to make Waldorf, he got all the things for Waldorf. I said, to make Waldorf, make sure that I've got Miracle Whip and evaporated milk. And he goes, oh, I don't, because we don't normally have Miracle Whip in the house. Like, we just don't eat it. I only use it to make this one thing. And so he's like, I think we have Miracle Whip. I was like, I used a lot of it last time because I made too much sauce. And he was like, oh, he goes, evaporated milk. I don't think we have evaporated milk. I was like, better safe than sorry. Because like, I'm having Waldorf tomorrow if it means that you have to drive out of state to get me that evaporated milk. And he's like, all right. But like, that, other than that, like, I couldn't tell you, like, do we need mustard? I don't know. Or is our bread good? Couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Yep.
I genuinely do not know. Like, when I say that, like for instance, the other night I was here, like not last night, but the night before, I was here until 1:30 because like I had to get a certain amount of things done. It's just the way it works. And I called Dave to tell him that. And he was like, don't worry about how late you're going to be. I made chicken and dumplings. It's in the crock pot. It'll be hot and ready when you get here. I was like, fantastic. Right. I thought I was going to be home at midnight. I was home at 1:30. So like I walked in and was like, cottage cheese. Good night.
Yep.
And so I had my chicken and dumplings the next day. It was fine. But like, he also knows at this time of year, like, put it in a crock pot, put it in an Instant Pot so that he can eat when he wants. And when I get home, I get to just like shovel it in my face and then just pour myself into bed. Right. Like, but like, I couldn't tell you. I mean, like, I get all the notifications for the pharmacy because I had a Walgreens account before he did. Like when it was like a revolution that there was a number you could recite to your pharmacist to fill your prescription. Like, I'd always gone to Walgreens. Well, when that happened, he was in California and his family went to like Rite Aid or something.
Okay.
And so like, it was just different. So I get all the notifications for that because I had the account longer. And so I will literally just forward the text message like, your prescription's ready, like, your prescription's ready.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's just so interesting because it is a thing that, like, it is hard for people. And, like, I will say it's easier for younger people to understand. Like, my grandparents certainly wouldn't have understood it. My parents struggled with it. Like, my aunts and uncles struggle with it. But, like, my cousins who are younger than me are like, yeah, he works at home.
Yeah.
So, like, it's definitely changing, but but I still have aunts and uncles who are like, well, when is David going to get a real job? He has a job. It's managing the house.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I get it. All right. Well, Linz, it has been a delightful 24 days talking to you.
24 days.
Every single day.
Every single day.
Is Hank Biz tonight, or is tonight a day off, a night off?
Hank Biz is tonight. Tomorrow we're off, and then we're back on the 26th.
Okay. All right.
We ring in the new year together on the 31st.
That's fine. Well, and then we have
not actually at midnight, because no.
But at the day, so we have the New Year's Eve countdown on Marley Bird. So make sure you guys are looking for that. Where every hour on the hour you go and you enter for a chance to win a prize of some sort. It could be yarn.
Chrissy messaged me yesterday and was like, please don't forget. And I was like, this is what I can do. If I don't answer you now, I'll forget. She's like, got you. It's like, thanks, Chrissy.
Okay. Yeah, she's putting all of that together. So that's always a fun thing to put together. Side note, I've also gotten a lot of messages about the Alaskan cruise. Have you been getting messages?
No, but someone posted in my Facebook group, a Marley and Lindsay cruise, say less.
Oh, there you go.
My group.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that has to happen. Like, we have to make that happen because I think people will be all over it. Okay, well, girlfriend, I gotta go finish my Christmas shopping, and then I get my nails done at 2:30. Let's hope I get nice nails. Like, they're so bad. I need them bad. Other than that, I'll talk to you soon. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah as well.
Happy Hanukkah starts tomorrow. And then when the pattern goes up, I will email you guys. So make sure you're part of the email, and I will send out an email to everybody to make sure that goes up. But yeah, that's it. There are two wearables. Like, one's, like I said, it's the turtleneck with sleeves. Like, it's no body. That's the knit one. And the crochet one is a crochet tunic. Really deep V tunic, 3/4, like elbow length sleeves.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice. All right. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Talk to you later.